Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to our panel and discussion on Can Generative AI Be Trusted? We're really pleased to be able to have such an important conversation at a really interesting time with what's been going on with European Parliament and also with the US Senate discussions. I'm delighted to introduce such an amazing panel that we have, all of whom are distinguished experts and leaders in their own fields, technology experts, and also have a huge depth of expertise in artificial intelligence. So please join me in welcoming our amazing panel. We've all been hearing a lot of great things about generative AI. This is a question to everybody on the panel. What do you see as the most exciting advancements in generative AI? Cara, can we start off with you, perhaps?
When we look at the pace of innovation that's happening right now, there's a lot of exciting movement happening in the space of generative AI. And I suppose to mention a few, the one thing that everyone's talking about, of course, today is the company OpenAI and its release of ChatGPT. We see the models of GPT-3, GPT-4, and these are large language models that are effectively demonstrating a really impressive natural language processing capability, which is, of course, leveraging massive amounts of data. These models can generate coherent and contextually relevant text that's enabling applications like chatbots, language translation, content generation, and even code writing. And where it starts to get really exciting for many creators and developers is in the multimodality of the combination of other AI tools and capabilities to combine with a chat function like a ChatGPT. I also am really excited about the reinforcement learning for generative models. So I think that when we look at the incorporation of reinforcement learning techniques, generative models can learn to generate sequences and make decisions and interact with their environment even more effectively. And this has had some application in areas like game playing, robotics, and autonomous systems. And of course, we see this reflection of ourselves in society. So the good and the bad that we see happening in the world is also reflected in what is coming back to us in the generative AI space. And looking at deepfake technologies, these are leveraging generative AI techniques that have gained a lot of attention as well as raised some concerns slightly due to their potential misuse. So again, it's a little bit of both the good side of who we are as humans, but also amplifying a bit the bad parts as well. These techniques are allowing for highly realistic manipulation of images and videos that are leading to applications like face swapping and voice synthesis. I think one of the recent cases that really demonstrates the full continuum of what generative AI is capable of right now is the artist Grande, who created a song using ChatGPT. And it was a song about cats. And of course, we all love cats and cats are cute. But the song was put to the music of the style of Eminem, the rap artist. And this was all fun and good, so long as there were cats in the video and they were rapping along to Eminem's style. But then Grande decided to leverage Eminem's own voice and swap the voice synthesis for a likeness of Eminem's voice. This is really where it crossed the line of copyright issues. So while there are ethical considerations around deepfakes, I'm sure we've all seen the images of the Pope wearing a fluffy white jacket. These advancements in the field are showcasing the power and also the potential of generative AI. While I think we do still need to be cautiously optimistic about how we'll proceed in that space. I'm also very excited for the advancements in generative AI.
We have witnessed groundbreaking progress in generative AI advancement in several areas, prompting great excitement within the scientific, tech, business, and investment communities. Notably, the emergence of multimodal generative AI has revolutionized the field by enabling generation of diverse and coherent content across multiple modalities such as image, text, audio, video, 3D. Another thrilling development lies in the integration of brain imaging techniques with generative AI, specifically in the realm of converting thoughts into text. By leveraging neuroimaging data and advanced machine learning algorithms, researchers have made remarkable strides in deciphering brain activity patterns associated with language processing. This integration holds immense potential and will shed more light into the intricate workings of the human mind. Furthermore, the convergence of generative AI with cognitive AI and semantic web analysis has yielded further exciting prospects. By leveraging the power of deep learning models, researchers have achieved significant advancements in understanding and extracting meaning from vast amounts of unstructured data, enabling more sophisticated natural language processing and more advanced information retrieval systems. This convergence holds promise for developing more advanced intelligent assistants, more advanced recommendation systems, and sophisticated predictive analytics tools. Additionally, the integration of generative AI with edge computing and digital twin technologies has emerged as another compelling frontier. By combining generative AI with both of these technologies, we can now simulate and generate realistic datasets, model complex systems that before were not possible, and optimize decision-making processes in real time. This interdisciplinary approach has paved the way for more immersive and interactive experiences with application across all industry verticals. We have also noticed increased integration with AR, VR, XR, and wearables or sensors, which further amplifies the opportunities and is poised to reshape and recalibrate the way we learn, work, and entertain ourselves, as well as future generations.
I think from a governmental and organizational perspective, that the recent advancements in guardrails have been something that are really quite important to take into consideration, especially when we think about what's happening with these large language models, with generative AI, in terms of plagiarism, in terms of copyright theft, and of course the use of copyrighted materials in training data. We have to sort of think of these incredible advancements as the real epicenter of what's yet to come. When it comes to, from a legislative point of view, that we have to be open, we have to be honest, and really sort of check ourselves when it comes to the ethics around utilizing the large corpuses of training data. If we look at ChatGPT, for example, GPT 3.5 was trained on over in excess of 170 billion parameters and took several hundred zettaops of compute power to actually train that neural network model. That is over 100 billion Xbox One consoles, which is just absolutely mind-boggling. We start to see that there's a huge impact from an energy perspective in training these advanced models, and we certainly need to be cognizant of that from a governmental perspective. As we start to see organizations looking to build their own large language models, how can they leverage and stand on the shoulders of giants like OpenAI when it comes to building their own models, and of course make those quite unique or special for other industries?
The necessity for proactive digital ethics frameworks that facilitate seamless integration with regulatory guidelines while upholding ethical principles, human rights, alignment with diversity, equity, and inclusion, and with environmental, social, and governance initiatives stems from the complex ethical challenges arising in the digital era. In today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, the proliferation of emerging technologies, such as generative AI, has brought forth intricate ethical dilemmas. To navigate these challenges effectively, we must design and deploy proactive digital ethics frameworks. These frameworks provide a structured approach to address ethical considerations throughout the development, deployment, and regulatory integration of digital technologies. By enabling integration with regulatory guidelines, digital ethics frameworks ensure that ethical principles and human rights are preserved within the legal boundaries. This harmonization facilitates a balance between innovation and ethical responsibility, offering clarity to organizations and individuals in adhering to ethical standards and legal obligations. Moreover, the integration of DEI and ESG initiatives within digital ethics frameworks is crucial. It ensures that ethical considerations not only encompass technical aspects, but also address societal impacts, inclusivity, and environmental sustainability. These frameworks emphasize the importance of avoiding bias, discrimination, unfair practices, while promoting equitable access, diverse participation, and sustainable outcomes in digital ecosystems. The alignment of digital ethics frameworks with DEI and ESG initiatives further enhances the social responsibility of organizations as they recognize the need to prioritize the well-being of individuals, communities, and the environment. By incorporating these principles into the fabric of digital technologies, we can mitigate potential harms, regain digital trust, and promote sustainable and inclusive digital transformation across all industries. When drafting these regulatory frameworks and ethical guidelines, we must strike a delicate balance, which is crucial to avoid stifling innovation and progress.
When we want to predict the exact evolution of generative AI over the next 5 or 10 years, it's very challenging. So, what's even happened in the last few months has been historic in terms of innovation in generative AI. And I think that even the month of April was one of the most innovative and transformative months to date so far. And we have not even made it all the way through the month of May, but the development that we see coming out right now is just absolutely exponentially accelerating. But based on these current trends, I think there are many emerging applications and potential advancements that we can start to predict and look forward to. For example, enhanced realism and controls. So generative AI models will likely continue to improve in generating more and more realistic and high fidelity outputs, whether these are in images or videos or audio. And the advancements and techniques like GANs and the variational autoencoders, the VAEs, these could enable finer control over generated content, allowing users to manipulate specific attributes and styles or characteristics. And I think for the creatives out there, the creative content generation, generative AI could find widespread applications in creative industries such as art and design and media. And artists and designers may leverage AI systems as creative tools to assist in generating novel and unique content that will really push the boundaries of artistic expression and design innovation. Some things that are really exciting to me are around the personalized medicine and drug discovery. When we can analyze large medical data sets, these models can aid in predicting patient outcomes, in optimizing their treatment plans, and accelerating the discovery of new drugs or therapies tailored to individual patients or specific diseases. Some of the work that I'm very proud of doing at the European Society for Cataract and Refractive Surgeons in this same spirit is in really looking at the innovations available to the front compartments of the eye. We already have large medical data sets available for the back compartments of the eye, but lesser is known about what's happening in the front compartments of the eye, a very complex environment in our eye, where I think that generative AI could even help us to accelerate our learning and discovery in that space to find even better treatments and therapies for persons with eye disease. Another area that I would suggest is really advancing is in virtual and augmented reality. So I think generative AI can play a crucial role in creating immersive virtual and augmented reality experiences. So these AI models can generate very realistic virtual environments, characters, objects. You see this in the gaming industry, for instance, where the visual fidelity and the interactive capabilities of these technologies just really surpassing what we all might remember, or at least I might remember from the days of Pac-Man. The entertainment, the training simulations, and virtual tourism are even areas that can benefit from this in the future. Another area that we do see as well is in robotics and in autonomous systems. So generative AI combined with reinforcement learning can advance robotics and autonomous systems where robots can learn to generate complex motor skills and adapt to dynamic environments and make decisions based on real-time data. I think this has implications for industries like manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, and even in space exploration. And of course, not to mention, as last, the personal assistants and AI companions. These systems can learn user preferences, our behaviors, the context to provide personal recommendations, assistance, and even companionship. There have even been some reports about individuals who developed such a deep connection with an AI agent that they became heartbroken when that agent was no longer corresponding with them. And these can become integrated into various aspects of our lives, from productivity and entertainment to healthcare and emotional support.
I certainly see the next 5 to 10 years that we'll see large organizations and corporations like Google, like Microsoft, like Facebook really fight and rush to create these new advancements in AI that we're seeing already, but also to try and make them iterative and, of course, have that freedom of experimentation. We certainly see that there's going to be a lot of changes to the way that these organizations operate. In terms of operating as an organization, they need to be cognizant of AI operations. And this is across every industry and across every company. So when it comes to creating these new models and making them iterative and looking at them from a training data perspective, you have to also think about what's really happening and what's being used for this training data. Is it customer data? Is it data from that's being scraped from websites? Is it data that's just being scraped from the internet in general? Is it data that's potentially private and personal to an individual? And if that's the case, how do you then have to retrain these models when it comes to a person that's made a right to forget requests through GDPR, for example, or for other means that have been evolving over the past, let's say, 5 years? How will this impact organizations from a governmental perspective and from a legislative perspective? Is that we'll see organizations really kind of be state of the art and try to create new ways of working with government to really understand what's going to be impactful from a societal perspective. And I think that that's really important to remember that, when from an ethical perspective, you need to understand what your technology will impact from an energy perspective, what it will impact from a societal perspective. Are there potentially any bias or exploitation that's going to be impacted as a result of your work in artificial intelligence? In terms of new applications and industries, we've already seen generative AI being leveraged quite vastly for self-driving cars, so that there's, in a simulated world perspective, so there's digital twins being created of the roadways and of complex urban environments, so that they can, of course, work in a more natural way when it comes to driving like a human would, and learning and understanding from that perspective. We're certainly seeing that there's a lot of advancements around programming. We certainly see work that's being done in large language models, and I certainly see that's going to be advancing in the next 5 to 10 years.
The pivotal role that artificial intelligence is playing in shaping the future of work cannot be overstated, specifically for generative AI. As generative AI continues to advance rapidly, it brings forth the opportunities, but also challenges, particularly in relation to automation and job displacement. To prepare for the potential impacts, it is crucial to emphasize the acquisition of relevant skills, the need for reskilling and upskilling initiatives across all levels, from preschool to the boardroom. The evolving landscape demands a comprehensive approach to skill development. Educational institutions and policymakers should prioritize the cultivation of skills that are uniquely human, such as critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, and adaptability. Emphasizing these skills alongside technical competencies will equip individuals to thrive in the future workforce. Furthermore, the emergence of generative AI in combination with other AI tools and methods necessitates the creation of new degrees and job descriptions that align with the evolving demands of the labor market. Interdisciplinary programs that combine technical expertise with domains such as ethics, policy, and human-centered design will be essential. These degrees will produce professionals who can navigate the complex ethical and social implications of the full AI portfolio while driving innovation and sustainable development. Additionally, new human-computer workflows must be established to optimize collaboration between AI systems and human workers. This involves reimagining work processes and organizational structures to capitalize on the strengths of both humans and machines.
When it comes to education, I think that this is a field that is evolving really rapidly and also including AI as a part of the learning process. And it's worth noting, and I'll say this up front, that while AI has the potential to enhance education, it should be seen as a tool that complements and supports human educators rather than replacing them. The expertise and guidance of teachers is going to remain essential for fostering critical thinking, creativity, and a holistic educational experience. But there are a number of things that I think are really exciting as we look ahead towards this evolution in the space of education. First of all, I would start with personalized learning. So AI technologies are being used to develop personalized learning platforms and adaptive educational software. These systems will leverage machine learning algorithms to analyze student data, to track their progress and tailor educational content and recommendations to the individual student's needs and learning styles. And so this notion of a really personalized approach to education is something that I'm very excited about. And I believe that's going to create a much more customized and effective learning experience for students of all abilities. Another area that is really interesting is to complement that on the tutoring side. So intelligent tutoring systems. And intelligent tutoring systems will use AI to provide personalized guidance and to support students. These systems can analyze their responses, can identify the areas of difficulty they may be having, and offer more targeted feedback, explanations, and even additional resources so that they can learn more about a particular topic. And by adapting to the individual's learner's needs, so again, very personalized form of instruction and of learning, these intelligent tutoring systems will enhance the effectiveness of that instruction and promote even deeper understanding. I really like that a lot because it will guide students in a really thorough and deeper understanding of the study. Another thing I think is exciting, probably for the teachers in the room, is about the automated grading and feedback. So, of course, AI-based tools can automate the grading process for assignments, for quizzes, and exams. So using natural language processing, the NLP algorithms, this will enable automated essay grading systems to analyze written responses. So imagine that. So taking not just an ABCD quiz, but really an entire essay to provide instant feedback on the grammar, on the structure, and content. Of course, this is going to save a ton of time for educators, but also allow students to receive immediate feedback and enhance their learning experience, perhaps in ways that a human teacher may not necessarily have gone into that level of depth on before. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Intelligent content creation is another area that I think is going to get very exciting in terms of how we develop educational content, such as interactive learning materials and virtual simulations. If we think about educational games and how we engage students in a fun way to learn, the AI algorithms can generate content based on specific learning objectives and adapt the content to different skill levels, provide engaging and interactive experiences for students. And this, again, will facilitate very active and a fun way to learn and increase that student engagement. That's something that's a goal of every teacher in the classroom for sure. One of the observations that I have had in terms of leveraging all of these tools and learning how they are compatible to our work is in some of the mentoring work that I'm doing at Erasmus School of Business, where some of my mentees are in classes where professors are encouraging the students to use ChatGPT on doing their assignments. Of course, the teachers know and the students know that they have also the plagiarism tools to run across their essays to make sure that they haven't just done a copy paste. But what is interesting is that the university has embraced the fact that the students need to start to learn how to work with these tools and to really apply very critical thinking in making sure that they're asking the right questions and prompting for the information that they are really looking for. That leads me also to the fact that I think a future role we can anticipate is prompt engineering is going to be very important in the future of working with and the complementary approaches towards leveraging generative AI. There's one more theme that I would highlight here in this area of what's coming up in the field of education, and that is around ethical and responsible AI. So as AI becomes increasingly pervasive, educational institutions are recognizing the importance of teaching students about the ethical and responsible use of AI. Curricula are being developed to include discussions on AI ethics, on bias, privacy, and social implications. And this ensures that students will have a comprehensive understanding of AI and can contribute to its responsible development and deployment. And a few years ago, I had the opportunity to sit down with Satya Nadella, the CEO at Microsoft, and I asked him the question about what is the subject that students who are passionate about technology should be studying when they go to school. And his answer was very straightforward. He said, I think every student should study ethics.
I feel in addition to everything we talked about in education, it's essential to also start thinking about introducing AI early on in preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school, so that we create a pipeline for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And then, of course, I think what's essential is to not forget to educate executive teams and board members, because I see that as a big problem. I do a lot of executive briefings, and it's painful because you cannot even educate someone on the latest technology if they don't have 90% of the vocabulary that's required. So when we talk about education, we shouldn't think only about students. We should think about the full 360 ecosystem of young children, but also executives that need to be trained in order to make those right decisions. And then, of course, the key stakeholders and decision makers in terms of legislation, like we talked. In addition, I just wanted to also make two more points on the education part. So we talked a lot about augmenting and performance enhancing with AI, but I think there is huge opportunity, and I've seen an amazing growth of startups that have started offering this now. We can use generative AI also for disabilities and to complement those that have physical or learning disabilities or emotional disabilities. So there are several companies now that offer generative AI that can help those that have difficulty reading, hearing, seeing, all kinds of disabilities. And it has made a huge impact. So I think we'll see not only performance enhancing, but also reparative generative AI. And the last point I'm going to make is it's really essential to think about the long-term impact. So not only do we need to reconfigure the education system from the student perspective, not only do we need to reconfigure the employment ecosystem, but also the types of jobs and job descriptions. So we talked workflows, degrees, the curriculum needs to be changed, and then the job descriptions will need to be changed, because a lot of the jobs right now are not going to exist in a year or two, and completely new ones will emerge. So thank you for the opportunity. I know we have very little time left.
Yes, indeed. I think one thing we see as part of this conversation is that, a lot of education will need to change, and we need to get different people across the organizations up and running with the vocabulary, and also knowing the limitations and the opportunities all the technology affords us. And this is part of the reason, we created Circle of Trust, was very much around making sure that people understood the benefits and the potential of this technology.
Can you really trust what's going on underneath the application, and really how the application came to be in the first place? When it comes to creating innovation, we really have to be in a perspective of this is all research becoming reality and sci-fi becoming reality. So when it comes to protecting human rights, we have to be cognizant of really the ways that these neural networks are being trained, how reinforcement learning is being used with humans in the loop, and really are those humans being exploited? How do we create an environment where the machine learning and deep learning models can be explained and can be explicitly programmed with the rights of humanity in mind? So in answer to the big question, can generative AI be trusted? Unfortunately, I'm going to say no. We can trust it to a degree, but we also have to make sure that we are able to be pointed to resources and pointed to the original source of the material that's being generated from. When it comes to creating stories, fine, you can trust it. When it comes to creating artworks, you have to be a bit careful when it comes to the training data that those artworks are being created from. When it comes to trusting it for marketing, for copywriting, again, you have to add your own freedom of expression on top of that and that creativity in order to make it something that's actually going to be beautiful. I like to say that AI is only skin deep when it comes to its beauty. And that's something that I'd like you to take away is really that, you have to take these models as research until they're created in a sense of that's been multi-generational, that's been iterative, that there's been several releases coming out. I think that this is all a journey that we're going on, and organizations as large as Google, as Facebook, as Microsoft are, of course, rushing to create these new tools that we're all starting to use now. We have to think about how this technology can be used for the greater good, but also be wary of bad actors when it comes to generative AI.